All right, some of y'all have been complaining about having a little bit of back pain and tenderness practicing at home, so I'm going to work on a little exercise with you this morning to help you understand before we start class a little bit about building intra-abdominal pressure. So to do this, you're going to need either a yoga block or something firm like a book, not something hard like a glass, but something firm. Please just don't use a pillow, it's too squishy. If you don't have a block or you don't have a single book in your house, all you have is National Geographic, you can always put your fist in there, it just doesn't feel great on your knuckles. So go ahead and lay down on your back, find a piece of wall, and lie down so that your legs are at a 90-degree angle. 90 at the ankle, 90 at the knee, and 90 at the hip. So you have to find your distance from the wall. And take your block or your book and stick it right in between your knees. This is here for you for feedback. And imagine that you had 3 major points on your foot. Under the big toe, under the pinky toe, and then your heel. And just for a second, push into the wall. And then notice how you could also push up the wall. What happens, what engages? Feel how your sacrum hits the ground. And without moving your feet, pull your feet down the wall. You feel a little bit of contraction in the hamstrings and a little bit in the buttocks. What we're looking for here is squeeze your knees in against the block and press your feet up the wall. So you feel a lot of strength in the top of your thighs. And notice as you drive your heels up how that makes you want to press your lower back into the ground. Do it. In fact, curl your tailbone up so it lifts about an inch off of the ground. We're going to keep this position, knees squeezing in, heels pressing up, and then take the 2 lowest points of your rib cage, and from a scale of 1 to 10, about a 7 or even an 8, squeeze your ribs towards each other. Now we're going to breathe out like you're blowing out a long set of birthday candles. So take a deep breath in, exhale, push that air out, press your lower back down, squeeze your ribs more together, hold here, keep the ribs in, inhale without flaring your ribs, it's not going to be a very big breath, and exhale, and squeeze in even tighter, activate, knees against the block, feet up against the wall, lower back to the ground, inhale, exhale, squeeze it tighter and tighter and tighter. As you inhale, press your diaphragm down to your belly. You can even touch it. Feel how hard it is? Exhale, lower back down, more ribs, even closer. Last one, here we go. Inhale, plunge the diaphragm into your belly. Exhale, and squeeze. And then relax, lower your tailbone down. Notice your belly wall here. When we do this exercise, it's not sucking in, it's trying to prevent you from pushing out. So think about your abdominal muscles as you do your yoga exercises as a brace. Get them into position and brace as you inhale and exhale. It's going to increase the pressure in your lower trunk, and it's going to make your lower back feel much more supported. All right, now that you know how to use your abs, let's go ahead and move back to the mat. For those of you that are playing along with our playlist, you can start it in 3, 2, 1, fire it up. All right, from your kneeling position, walk your hands out in front of you, keeping your chest high until you feel a little bit of a sensation of stretching in your back. So nice and neutral through the neck. We're going to do some isolated nerve flossing in your lower back. Imagine somebody just tied a 20-pound weight to your tailbone. Tuck your tail under and curl it towards the floor till you feel stretching in your lower back. This should not be painful. If it hurts, you're going too far. And now someone just took that weight off. Lift your tail to the sky and make your lower back only backward bend. Again, tuck, extend, lift your tail to the sky. Good, tuck and curl. We're going to do 5 sets of this. And then make a backward bend in your lower back. Tailbone down to the ground, pull it down, tuck, curl. And then squeeze your back muscles, make a back bend just at your low spine. Again, tuck, curl, curl a little bit more. That's it. And then pause here, stretch your chest forward, walk your hands a little farther forward. If it's comfortable for you, you can bring your head down so you feel just a little bit more stretching in the lower back. And try again. Weight to the tailbone, curl it down. This may drag your hands or your chest a little bit. And then take 5 sets of that, just flossing your lower back. If this is tender or tight for you, it might look a little bit more like hands and knees. So feel free to take it where you can, and each set of 5 will bring you a little bit lower. This is something you do to warm up every day. Grab your last couple of rounds. And then once again, walk the hands forward, stretch your chest forward and down. Let your head settle or hang towards the floor. And just breathe here. Beautiful. Shift your weight forward to an articulated cat and cow. Come to quadruped position, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And we're going to try to move, not like a big movement of cat and cow, but one vertebra at a time. Tuck your tailbone under and slowly roll that forward bend up your lower spine, to the lower ribs, to your middle back, to the upper back, and then your neck. Tuck your chin tightly, lock out your upper back in this position, shoulders protracted, lift your tailbone like you took that weight off once again, and roll it from the bottom all the way to the top. So the last thing you do is lift your head. Keep the upper back in the backward bending position, tuck your tail. If you need to go a little more slowly than us, it's totally fine. If you need to go a little more quickly than us, slow down. Number one thing you can do here, switch tail up. Keep the upper back in the forward bend as long as you can, so you start to develop some control in the way that you move your spine. When you first start doing your cat and cow like this, it's going to feel like you have 2 or 3 or maybe 4 pieces in your back. Over time, that'll feel like a dozen, 2 dozen. And just feel how good it feels to roll up joint by joint, starting to move, hydrate, and circulate blood to the little guys, all the tiny little muscles in your spine. When you get back into full spinal flexion, we're going to take this to the left. So press your ribs to the left and then down towards the floor. Retract your shoulder blades, ribs to the right. Bring them up to the ceiling. Protract your shoulders, press the floor away, and take it again in a big circle like that. Notice if there's a spot where, oh my goodness, you really just want to stay and like lean into that shoulder. Go for it. And then switch directions to the right, to the floor. It's a back bend. You can bring your head along for the ride. You got it. And with your hips high like this, walk your hands out in front. We'll just take a gentle shoulder stretch, head between the arms. Lean to the right, dip the right side, right shoulder down, and create a little stretching along the back side of the right arm, right shoulder. Come back to center and left. Lean into it, breathe into it. And center, we'll do that again. Right, dip and stretch, drag against the floor. Center the shoulders and dip your left. Finding that spot that's just right for you. Center. And come back up to your hands and knees position. We'll take some articulated hip cars. Pull your right knee up into your chest as close as you can. Flex the right foot and open your leg to the side. Internally rotate. Keep the knee high, lift the heel higher, and reach the leg behind you. Make as big a circle as you possibly can. Keeping neutral through your spine, pull your knee up into your chest. Again, open to the side like a fire hydrant, internally rotate, and reach behind you. All the way back, pull your knee up and into your chest, and take it in the opposite direction, back. As you open, externally rotate and reach your right knee up. Try to touch it to your right shoulder. Exhale, bring it down. Take it back as far as you can. External, heel in, knee out. Reach your knee to your shoulder. And now hold it right here, knee to shoulder. Extend your knee, straighten your leg. Hover. And settle that foot right on the ground. Walk your hands up to a half kneeling position. Arms up over your head. Half moon bend to the right. Shoulders square, reach through your fingertips. Come to center, arms parallel to the floor. You may have to shift the weight, right leg up. And down. Again, bend. Center. Arms wide for balance. Lift. Hover. And down. Back to your half moon and hold. In this side bending position, press your right foot down into the ground. Feel your groin engage. Squeeze all the stuff on the inside of your leg. And staying in your side bend, now switch and squeeze the outside of your hip. Try to lift up your right foot. It's not going to come up, it's just a hint. And relax. Reach Bend deeper. Press down. Lift up. Try to lift your foot off the floor. Feel the whole outside of the hip squeeze. Reach. Relax the hip and bend. Back to your center position. Bring your left hand to the ground, right hand high. A modified side plank. Pull your low ribs in. Press your diaphragm down. Build that strength and control. And if you feel stable, bend your right knee, grab your ankle, and kick the knee behind you. Hold it. Pull your low ribs together or your ribs towards your hips. Kick your knee back farther. Good. Release back to your side plank and then come down to kneeling position. Hands in prayer, just like we do for camel. Reach up, reach back. And center. Let's bring some of that articulation, hands to the floor, to a little bit of a movement pattern. From your hands and knees, bend your elbows, bring your chest to the floor, like you're going under a barbed wire fence. Graze your chest across the floor, keep your knees down, press your chest up. And then you're going to back under it again. Lower your chest, lift your tail, press all the way back to a child's pose. Again, scrape the floor. Press forward and up. Come to a back bending position. Bend your elbows, bring your chest close to the floor like you're going to shave the floor. Shift back to child's. Take it forward. Lead with your chest, not with your chin. So chin fairly neutral, back bend. Good. Nice and lower. Back to the child's pose position, head on the floor. Take a big breath here. Feel your ribs expand right and left. And exhale, belly almost retracts. Inhale, belly expands. Relax your pelvic floor. Exhale, belly retracts. Pelvic floor lifts. Come back up to your hands and knees, and let's take those hip cars on the left-hand side. So pull left knee up to your chest. Open it to the side and internally rotate. Turn the heel as high as you can. Reach your leg behind you. Make as big a circle as possible without doing this with your back. So spine neutral, open to the side, internal rotation, reach your knee back and up, around and in. Bring the knee back to your chest and switch directions. Back behind you, externally rotate, reach out to the side and fight. Try to touch your knee to your shoulder, knee down to the center. Take it back. External, turn the heel in, the knee out and reach. Try to get knee to shoulder, hold it, hover it. Straighten your leg, hover, higher, set it down. Come up and bend to the left. Half moon. Center, ballet dancer, hover the foot. If this is really hard for you, good, practice it more often. And bend to the side. It really helps in this one if you spread your back toes, your right toes on the floor, come to center. Spread your toes, push your foot down, and lift the left leg up. Foot flex if you got it. Half moon side bend. And breathe. Now, begin to press your left foot into the floor. Feel all the muscles on the groin engage. And staying in your half moon, try to lift your leg up. Squeeze the outside of the left hip. Try, and relax your leg. So reach, bend, and come down. In this position, the stretching side is your groin. That's your progressive side. Press your foot down, squeeze the progressive muscles. The regressive side's the other, the closing side, the hip. Relax the progressive, squeeze your regressive. Try to lift your foot in the air. And then relax. Reach and stretch, come down. You got it, Judah, looking good, honey. Come back to center. Open your arms to the side. And we'll take that modified side plank. Leg in the air if you can if you have it. And pay attention that you're not doing a big back bend here. Ribs tight together. Press your diaphragm down into your abdomen. And if that's feeling good for you, bend your knee up, grab your ankle, and kick the knee behind you. If you don't have a lot of hip flexion, what we tend to do is arch into a big back bend. So tighten through the abs, just like we did before. Press your diaphragm down into your belly. Feel really strong in your core, and then kick your knee behind you. You got it. Release the foot back to your side plank. Step back, arms up overhead, and reach behind you for a backward bend. Stay here, chest high. Reach. Inhale back up to center. Hands to the floor. Now you can take that same position from hands and knees, that worm we did before, or you can try that from your toes. So lift the knees up, bend your elbows, bring your chest close to the ground, keep your butt high, push forward and through, come up, toes tucked under, and then bend your elbows, bring your chest close to the ground, slide it back to a downward facing dog. We're going to do that again. I know it takes a lot of strength, so feel free to put your knees down if you need to. Shift forward to a plank. Bend your elbows, keep your butt high. Slide under the fence, hips down, chest up. Bend your elbow, tail down, tail up, chest down, push back, downward facing dog. Release your heels towards the floor. Good. And if you're familiar with walking to the front, you can do that. But if you've ever taken Pilates, you know how to do a burpee. Bend your knees, come high on the toes. We're going to hop to the front, wide squat position. Turn your toes out, lower your heels down. As low as you can sit, and you'll see as you look on the tape, everybody does it a little bit differently. Hands to prayer at the center of your chest. Pull your chest tall. And in this point, instead of keeping your knees into your elbows, open your knees wide. And we're going to come up to a rising position the whole time. Stretch your knees away from each other. Reach them out to the side walls. Good. Knees out, we're going right back down. Pull your knees as wide as you can. Release your hands down to your ankles, Jane Fonda's. Head down, tail up, fold forward. Bend your knees, lower your hips. Open those knees wide and come up. Pull your knees open the whole way up. Toes forward, step left foot in to meet the right. Arms over your head. Reach high, bend right. Pull your hips together. Stretch through your arms. Bend your spine. And now in your full lateral flexion, look at the floor and turn your left shoulder forward and down. Keep reaching through your fingers till you find that perfect spot where you can stretch, just sort of down at the point of your underarm, the point of your scapula. Rotate back square and come on. Legs together, zip them tight, reach, bend left. Find your nice little half moon. And for those of you practicing at home, right, if you know the cues I would give you right now, do them. Because I guarantee those habits are going to come up, especially if you don't have a mirror to see yourself or a teacher helping you. And then turn your right shoulder down, however far feels good for you. So you're staying in flexion and you're adding rotation. Keep reaching through your fingertips. Turn. Come back to center. Separate your hands, and like you're grabbing a weight bar, pull your chest up, pull your arms down, lift your chest to the sky, and hold here. Cactus arms backward bend. Get that feeling like you're still pulling the bar down, and pull your elbows back. Lift your chest up nice and high. Right behind where your heart is, arch over the barbed wire fence. Inhale up to center, arms over your head. Bring right arm underneath the left. Eagle with your arms. Pull your shoulders down to the ground and step your right leg behind you for a high lunge. First, pull down. And then rotate your torso to the left as far as it goes. It might be really small for you. Keep that action of pulling down with your arms. In fact, lower your chin, lower your gaze, draw your elbows to your belly, and flex to the left. So you're just a little bit oblique of center, a little bit off center. Curl in through your upper back. Think about that articulated cat and cow we did before. Inhale to center. Straighten out your spine. Reach your arms up for a back bend. Pull your elbows down, spine straight position. Inhale, arms up over your head. Pull down for that backward bend. You got it. Inhale, arms high, hands to the floor. Open up to the left. Reach your left hand high.
Spine twist. Come all the way back up. You've got it. Open through warrior two. Draw your left knee back, open the hip, tighten through your core. Turn your palms, take triangle posture, elbow inside the knee, left arm high. Turn your head, turn your chin. We're going to go back to that rotated position from here. Turn your head to the floor. Bring your left hand down, lift your right heel. Bring your left hand up. Right hand down, left hand up. And from a position of strength, press into your toes. Inhale, rise, facing the left wall. Reach your arms apart. Chest up. Press your hands in prayer. Hook right elbow outside of your knee. Turn and twist. Hold. Press off your back toes. Find your strength and stability. You got it. Inhale, untwist, hands to the floor and step back. You can take that worm type of vinyasa here or a straight chaturanga, push to up dog, and back to downward facing dog. Heels to the floor, tail to the sky. Couple of breaths here. Bring your shoulder blades up to the ceiling, away from your ears. And on the next breath, come high on your toes, bend your knees. Look between your hands and hop wide-legged back to that squat malasana position, whatever it looks like for your body. Pull your knees wide. Reach your knees apart as you rise. Keep them wide, 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 wide. Use the outside of your hips. Take it right back down. Grab your ankles, Jane Fonda, head down, hips high. Relax your neck. Depending on your ankle mobility, you might have to turn your toes out a lot. Bend your knees, squat. If the ankles don't move a lot, go ahead and rotate your toes out a little bit more. Inhale, rise. Keep reaching your knees apart as you go all the way up. Toes forward, step your right foot to the left. Arms up. Bend right. You've got it. Reach through your arms. Stretch through your fingertips. And now for this position, bring the bottom shoulder up to the ceiling. Rotate, look up. Keep reaching, keep bending. Where do you feel the stretching change in your body? Inhale, rise. Square. Lengthen. Bend left. Stretch through your fingertips. Contract left side to come down. And then we'll add the rotation. Turn to look up. Pulling right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. Stretch and flex. Inhale, center. Grab that lat pull down. Pull your elbows, cactus, arms. Drag your elbows towards each other behind you to open through your chest. Breathe. Go back. Squeeze your butt. Look back. Inhale to rise. Left arm under right. Draw your elbows down to the floor to create shoulder stretching. Left leg back. Nice and high through the lunge. Still arms towards the ground. Begin to rotate your torso to the right. Yeah, push off your back toes. Feel that pull along the front of your left hip. And then lower, chin down, shoulders down, elbows down. Creating as much flexion in your spine today as is your greatest and safest range. Unroll. Straighten your torso. Reach up. Lift your elbows. Back bend. Good, elbows down to center. Release the grip. Inhale, arms high. Straight into that cactus lunge position. Beautiful. Inhale, arms high. And we'll take it right into that revolved twist. Left hand down, right hand high. So this is becoming a familiar position for your body. Inhale to sweep up. Open warrior two. Notice how much your pelvis wants to tip forward. Pull the pubic bone up, sit low, and draw your right knee back. Reach your arms apart. Flip your palms. Trikonasana. East Coast style. Rotate, twist. We're going to go the exactly opposite direction. Turn your head, look at the floor. Left hand down, right hand high. Lift your left heel, come high on the toes, and twist. Find your strength and stability in both legs. Push your right leg down. Inhale to stand up, facing right. Reach your arms apart. Hands to prayer position. Hook left elbow outside right knee. And twist. Or you can stay in that upright position if this hip flexion causes closing angle pain for you. Good. Inhale back to center. And then hands to the floor. Step it back. Lower down. Upward facing. Shift back. Downward facing dog and hold. Reach your right leg up high to the sky and step it forward between your hands. Lower your left knee to the ground. We're just going to take a second here to look at your ankle flexion before we do one more squat. So push your knee forward beyond your ankle as far as it goes. This is your ankle flexion. Hey, Jay, do you mind turning to the side for this one? So folks can see the difference. Difference in ankle flexion is going to vary in your squats an absolute ton. So once you've gotten as far forward as you can, we're only going to do about 30% pressure. With about 30% of your strength, push your right foot into the ground like you're stepping on a gas pedal. And then switch, tent your fingertips, and try to lift your foot off the floor. It might actually come up. And let's test it out. Back up as far as you need to get that foot to lift it all. So there's your active mobility. Set the foot down and shift forward into the stretch again. So this isn't a full pails and rails. If it was, you know there'd be a minute-long hold in the stretch. So let's try that again. We're just trying to neurologically train the ankle to go a little deeper. Start to press the foot down. 20 or 30% of your strength. And then shift and try to lift your foot off the floor. This time, don't back out. Just struggle right where you're at and relax. Notice if you can shift a little bit deeper and come into a little bit more stretching. If you get any any closing angle pain on the front, the closed side of the joint, then you need to back out and just pails and rails it where it doesn't hurt. One more time, press your foot down. And then switch, try to lift your foot off the floor. If it comes up, great. If it doesn't come up, you're not a failure. Good, plant your palms, lift your left knee up, step your right foot back to the left, and let's go through a quick vinyasa. Inhale to up and shift to downward facing dog. You can always go right to double D. Left leg lift up high. Step it forward between your hands and lower now right knee to the ground. And just test it out. This side will probably be different. It's okay to create a little bit of pressure there and lean into it. Let's see what you've got for ankle flexion. This would be your passive mobility. And then let's press the pad of your foot into the floor like you're stepping on the gas pedal. You should feel the backside stuff in your ankle and your calf engage. And then like we did the first time, back out enough that you can shift and get the ball of your foot to lift off the floor. Just notice the difference between your active range, what you have control over, and your passive. Set your foot down, relax it, and lean forward into the stretch. Go to your passive. Sometimes we have neurological tightness. That just means our brain is saying, trying to protect us and saying, hey, stop, you're going to hurt yourself. So now we're going to teach the brain, press your foot down just gently. Hey, look, I can actually do stuff in this position. Press the pad of your foot through the floor. And without coming up, shift and try to lift your foot off the floor. Try to get that front up. Squeeze all the front of your shin and your ankle and your foot, and then relax and lean into it. If we really wanted to change your joint capsule, this process would take about 10 minutes. But right now, we're just trying to change the way your brain thinks about your ankle. One more, push down. Maybe 35% this time. And switch rails, lift, lift, lift. Can you get it up? Lift, 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 and rest. Lean in. Feel that little gentle stretch in the back of your ankle. Plant your hands, step your left foot back to meet the right. And take your way through another vinyasa. Lower to chaturanga, elbows, shoulders stay higher than the elbows. Backward bend, and then downward facing dog. Come high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward, and hop back to that squat. So we're going to go super duper slowly this time. First, open your knees, come up 2 inches. Open your knees wider, 2 inches. Wider, 2 inches. Wider, 2 inches. wider. Push all the way up, squeeze your butt, slowly down, slow. Slower than you come down in third part of awkward. Feel that control, slow. As low as you can go. I know some of you ladies out there can drop your booty to the floor, do it. Grab your ankles, hips high, head down. This time, angle your toes forward, clasp your elbows overhead, let's ragdoll. If you feel in the mood for a separate leg stretch, feel free to take the grip that's going to make you feel good this morning. This is your call. Good. Turn your toes out, bend your knees, lower your hips down. Again, peace over power, open the knees, come up 2 inches. Wider, higher. Wider, higher. Wider, higher. Wider. Keep reaching them wide as you go up. Squeeze your butt together. Toes forward, feet together. All right, let's take some balancing postures. Lift your right leg up high. Bring it in nice and close to your body. Left hand on top of the knee. Open to the right. Half dancing Shiva. If you know the full thing, don't take it yet. So in this position, lengthen and then rotate. Look. Can you look at your thumb with your left eye? Good. Come back to the front. Crisscross your hands. Pull your knee higher. If you have it, reach down and grab your foot with both hands. Lift and extend. If you don't, keep left hand on the knee and open up once again, right hand to the back wall. Stay tall through your spine. Bring that arm forward. Everybody bend the knee. Lift your knee high to the sky. Internally rotate it as far as you can. And notice how you can slip your hand right under there for standing bow. Left hand to the ceiling. And go. Kick. Reach. Bring your body down. Getting strong in that standing leg. Reach your shoulders apart. Everybody left hand higher. Right leg meet it. With intensity. Come up. Right leg in front. Eagle legs. Interlock your fingers, flip the palms high, and bend to the right only. Press out through your left hip. That's the one we're stretching. Sweep your hands behind you, either hands to your lower back or interlock your fingers. Reach your knuckles down, look up. Find a gentle back bend in your spine. Beautiful. Arms up over your head. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step or jump to the back of your mat for your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg high. Step your right leg between the hands. We're going to stay in a low position here. Keep your back leg high and bring your hands out to the side like an airplane. Make fists and then actively pull your knee forward. Come into that passive ankle stretch from before. Come as far forward as you can. Good. Shift it back. Plant your hands. Vinyasa. Back to down dog. High on your toes. Bend your knees. Hop it forward between the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And arms down by your side, left leg up. Right hand to the outside of your left knee. Open your left hand to the back wall. Try to keep your legs still and rotate your torso. Look back. Can you see your left thumb with your right eyeball? Good. Bring the arm up and over, crisscross. Knee higher. And if you have it in you, you can shift the grip to your foot. Inhale to kick. Notice that stretching in your back. Release your left hand. Everybody rotate. If you're struggling with the balance, feel free to keep your gaze forward so you can hold it steady. And then bring the arm up and over. Bend your knee. Keep the knee in position. Internally rotate. Pick it up for bow. Right arm high. Reach. Kick. Take your time. If you're practicing on a carpet, on a mat, on a towel at home, it might be harder to balance. So maybe put your mat on the kitchen floor. Draw right hip towards the back wall. Now reach higher and kick to match that feeling of reach. Beautiful. Left leg crosses in front. Eagle to the legs. Our target hip is the right hip on this side. Interlock and flip your palms to the sky. Pull your body to the left as you press through your right hip. However much movement you can get is perfect for you today. To the center, interlock behind. Focus one point. Remember, good balance starts with good concentration. Release the arms high and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or float to the back of your mat. Either take your vinyasa or meet in down dog. Shifting hips back and up. Keep those core muscles in your belly and the low ribs in strongly. Left leg high. And step forward between your hands. So stay with the body low, close to your thigh, and reach your hands out to the side like airplane wings. Then actively pull your weight forward. Feel how in a different position you can bear load and find balance, even in your maximum range in that ankle. Hands to the floor, step it back. Chaturanga, inhale to up, and downward facing dog. Couple of deep, slow breaths here. Noticing how this position is starting to get a heck of a lot more comfortable. Come high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Hips high, hop it forward. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, drape your upper body over your thighs and fold. Inhale to rise. Step your right foot out 6 inches. Bend your knee and sit. Chair pose. Rotate from the shoulder. Inhale to rise, right leg up. Reach your hands straight up overhead, as much shoulder flexion as you can. Extend heel forward. Bend your knee up and in, warrior 3. Dial your right toes towards the floor, reach your fingertips to the mirror. Good, inhale, feet together, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or float to the back of your mat. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna come right up on the toes, step or float. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Chair position, sit low. Press to stand, left knee to your chest. Extend through your heel, warrior 3. Hold in balance. Inhale, rise. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step or float. This is where we start the flow. Shift your hips back and up. Look forward to your hands and step. Halfway lift. Fold. Inhale, rise, feet together, sit back in your chair. One movement, one breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, extend. Inhale, warrior 3. Hold it. And we're going to bring right hand to right hip, left hand to the floor. If you can't touch the floor, use your water bottle, a stack of books. Open your right hip up to the sky. Half moon pose. Left hand to the ceiling if you can do it. Good, close the posture. Step your right foot behind you. Left foot meets vinyasa. Inhale up. Exhale down. Look forward. Step or float. Halfway lift. Inhale to rise. Bend your knees, chair. Come all the way up, knee to chest. Extend. Notice this side is going faster. Reach behind you. Warrior 3. This time, left hand to left hip, right hand to the floor. Your block, you can put it on the corner of your couch. Open to the left side. Point your left toes to the side wall. And then turn. Close the posture. Plant your hands. Step back. High to low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing. Look forward and hop. Lift. fold, rise. One more each side, sit low, come high. Lift your knee with it, extend and control, warrior three. This time we're going opposite direction, left hand to left hip, right hand to the floor. And rotate your torso to the left. It's not going to be as dramatic as you usually do. With the left hand, you can reach it straight out parallel to the ground or start to pry it open to the ceiling. Yes, square your chest, plant your hands and step back. High plank, low plank, upward facing, down dog. High on the toes, jump, lift, and fold, rise. Chair, left side, the last one. Rise. Lift it high, extend. Warrior three. Look at how much you can balance. Right hand to right hip, left hand to the floor, to the couch, to a block or a book. Feel free to try opening the right hand to the sky or simply keep your right hand on the hip so that you have balance. Square your shoulders, plant your hands, step back. Vinyasa. Tuck and curl your toes under. Downward facing dog and hold. Good. Reach your right leg high. Step right foot forward between the hands in a lunging position. Now this time, hips down, chest forward, flat back. Tent your fingertips. And just like we did in the cat and cow, tuck your tail, curl your spine, round through the upper back, and bring your forehead to your knee. Make it kind of dramatic. Press your chest forward, lift your head high. Again, tuck and curl, round through your spine. Press your chest forward, lift your head high. One more. Ripple it through your spine. Take your time if you need to go more slowly. Press your chest forward, look forward. Plant your palms, step back, upward facing to downward facing dog. Breathe. Left leg high, step it forward between the hands, staying in your lunge position. Tent your fingers here so you have some more room. Suck in your belly, curl your spine. Bring your forehead down towards your knee. Press your chest forward, flatten your back. Push your hips more forward and down. Tuck and curl. Feel the flow of the music. And then straight spine. Tuck and curl. Straight spine. Plant your palms. Go through your vinyasa. Upward to downward. Spread your fingers wide. Shoulders away from your ears. They don't have to touch the floor, but feel the heaviness of your heels release towards the floor. Right leg high. Step it forward between the hands. This time, shift your hands behind your heel, turn your thumbs forward. Keep your chest right on your leg and transfer your body's weight forward. Bring your knees together. So we're prepping for flamingo pose. Slowly start to drop your head and straighten the right leg as much as you can. The more you walk your fingers behind you, the more you'll stretch your upper back. You got it. Step the left leg gently behind you. Vinyasa. And down. Left leg reach high. Step through. Shift the hands position, hands behind your heel, thumbs face forward. Transfer the weight forward and step your right knee next to the left. Keep your heel close to your buttocks and slowly drop your head, lift your booty. Try to straighten your left leg. Like we did in the last one, reach through your fingers, push through your tented fingers and curl your upper back. Step the right leg back. Hands face forward. Chaturanga. Uppy. Down. One more, right leg high. Step your foot between the hands. Same position with your hands this time, except as you shift the weight forward, don't bring your knees together. Glue your chest to your thigh and reach your left leg to the sky. high as it'll go. Straightening the right leg the best you can. And like we did before, slowly tuck your chin. Round your spine this time. Like you're doing separate leg head to knee, flying in the air, because that's what a badass you are. Bend your right knee, lower the left foot down. Turn your hands forward and take it down and up. Left side, step through. Hands behind the heel, transfer your weight forward. Right leg just goes up to the sky. Hold it here in balance. When you feel like you've got your balance, tuck your chin, curl your spine, reach your foot up towards the ceiling. Hold. Push off your fingertips. You got it. Touch down and step back. Up dog to downward facing. Lower your knees to the floor, and we're going to do 2 more rounds of that cat and cow. So tuck your tail, roll up through your spine. Notice how it feels when you're unencumbered. Lift your tail, roll the back bend from bottom to top. Tuck and curl. Shift. You got it. When you finish in a neutral spine, we'll come right to the elbows. This time we are going to articulate just the low back. So tuck your head inside your hands and curl your upper back. So roll forward. So you're in as much flexion as you can. And like you just lifted that weight off, lift your tailbone and make your lower back backward bend. Tuck your tailbone. Now you've got 5 vertebrae down there. So see if you can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then tuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Lift your tail. 2, 3, 4, 5, and tuck. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back up to hands and knees. Walk yourself back to a seated position and place your hands behind you. Hands on the floor behind you. Tuck your tail under, lift your hips as high as you can, like you're trying to get out of fixed firm. Lower your heels. Stand up on your knees like we did earlier. Cactus those arms. Pull your elbows together, make it a back bend. Draw your elbows towards the back wall as far as you can. Straighten your elbows, thumbs to the ceiling. And then internally rotate from your shoulders like you're saying thumbs down. Angle your thumbs towards the floor. And in that internal position, squeeze your hands together behind you. Squeeze, squeeze. How close can you get your hands? Reach your knuckles down towards your feet and in towards each other. Inhale to rise, arms up over your head. Hips down to your heels. Separate your knees wide. Walk it forward for thread the needle, keeping your butt in the air. Slide your right arm under the left and rotate to the outside of your head and the right shoulder. If you really like the spinal flexion, you can tuck your toes and roll up onto your right scapula. So tuck left toes, lifting left knee into the air. If your back bothers you, it's probably not your jam today. But this sometimes helps you get at that like weird spot in your upper back that never gets a stretch. Lower the left knee down. And switch sides, thread lefty through, all the way through and under. And you can stay right here, stacking the hands, or reaching right arm over your head, or you can tuck the right toes and lift your right knee up, rolling more towards the back of your left scapula. Just working a little bit here on shoulder adduction. You can press the back of the left hand into the floor so you feel the outside of the shoulder engage. Lower your knee down. And come back to that flat-footed camel we did before. So sitting hips on your heels, hands behind you, thumbs forward. Tuck your tail under, press your hips up and forward. This time you can drop your head back if that feels comfortable. If your neck is tender, just keep a neutral spine. Chin in just a touch. Find the power in your booty. Squeeze your glutes more up and forward. Lower hips to heels. Rise back up for camel, hands in prayer. Inhale, arms high. Reach back as far as you can go. And this time, separate your hands, make 2 fists, and thumbs to the back wall. Spread your hands wide. Keep turning your thumbs out away from each other. Thumbs down the opposite direction. And bring your hands back as far as they can go. Stay right here. Open, vulnerable, exposed, strong. Reach your thumbs towards each other. Inhale, arms up over your head. Pull your hands down to center. Lower them right to the floor and come all the way down to your belly. Feet nice and wide. We're just going to do an assisted cobra with the feet wide to roll up through your spine. Start with your neck. Head up, chest up, mid back. Push into your hands, lower back and hips. And then roll it down. Try to feel it like a mountain bike tire touching the ground. Head up, roll up. This whole class is about your spine and down. How does it work? Up, roll. Starting to be able to control every single joint in your body. This time when you come down, turn your head to the right and place your left ear on the mat. Tuck your arms in by the side of your body. And we're going to do that same gentle half pails and rails approach for your neck that we did with your ankle. Don't look at me, look at the people behind you. Keeping your head right here. It's not going to move anywhere. Start to gently press your left cheek into the floor like you were going to say no and turn your head to the left. Create a little pressure there, about 10% of your strength, 20%. Ramp it up to 30%, and then switch. Turn your head to the right and try to lift your cheek off the floor. Turn, turn. Only about 30, maybe 40% of your strength, and then rest. Relax into the floor. Once again, we're convincing your brain that it doesn't need to protect you here. You, even in this position that's pretty intense and vulnerable, you have control. Try it again. Start to press your cheek into the floor like you were turning your head to the left. Build it up a little more, tough guy. You don't need to go whole hog here. And then switch, turn your head to the right. Can you reduce the pressure on the left side of your face? Can you lift that cheekbone off the floor? And rest. Relax. Melt. Lift your head up and turn it to the left. And just relax your neck and notice how it feels on the other side. Always using your greatest, safest effort. Here we go, 10%, turn your head to the right. Use the stability and pressure of the floor, 20%, 30% to provide a little bit of resistance. So you're building strength. Now switch and turn your head to the left. Turn away from the floor. Rotate, look over your shoulder, and rest. Breathe. The rest period in these techniques is actually the most important part. The work is 10 to 20 seconds. The rest is 2 minutes or more. Press your cheek into the floor. 10%, 20, 30% hold. Switch, turn away from the floor. Turn, turn. Can you get more of your ear to touch the floor? Turn and rest. Cooling things down. Winding things down. Some of the most soothing stretches we do are the long body stretches. Place your chin forward, hands under your shoulders, push up. And swing your legs right in front of you. We're going to start with stork pose. If you really have tons of internal rotation and you can sit comfortably with your left leg and fixed firm, you're welcome to do it this way. But for most of us, we're just going to cross the left leg in front. And then reach and hold onto your right heel. Point your toes to start. And extend that leg up towards the ceiling. And just like we've done through the class, tuck your chin and curl away from the leg. Then pull your shoulder blades down, lift your chest, and flatten your spine. Try again, tuck and curl. Curl into it, stretch your shoulder blades apart. And then as you inhale, lift your chest, drag your scapula down, and we'll shift the grip here to the ball of the foot. So now heel forward, turn your toes back. It's okay if the leg needs to be bent here. And then Tuck and curl like you're shrugging away from the leg, like you're shy. Inhale, rock your pelvis forward, lift your chest. Tuck and curl. We're spending some time doing some weird things with your spine while you hold your chest up, leg up. Release the grip of the left leg and bring your leg out to the side. We're spending your time with the leg in a stretching position, tuck and curl, while we do some other weird things so that Bella forgets about how tight her hamstrings are. Lift your chest. Come out of the curl. Tuck and curl. Inhale and rise. And we'll switch. Bring your left hand to the outside of your foot. Bring it across your body enough that you create a little bit of tension here and reach the right arm out to the side. And then like you're trying to get away from that foot, tuck and curl. Lower your head. Inhale, head up, chest up. Pull your heel backward. Tuck and curl. Lift and rise. You got it. Legs straight out in front of you. Arms up over your head. No hands involved. Tuck and curl over your leg. Come all the way down. If you can touch your head on your knee with your belly muscles, you can grab your foot. But if you're holding your foot, release it. So hands are on either side of the foot. Press your chest forward, lift your head up, and try to reach your fingertips a little closer in front of you. Unroll. Let's try the other side. So we'll start with the point and stork. Again, this right leg can be like you're in fixed firm. Hold your heel, point your toes, and lift the leg high. Now, if this feels super easy for you, you can bring your leg closer to your body. You can bring it farther away if it's harder for you. Think if your shoulders are tight of relaxing the shoulders away from each other. Tuck and curl. Lower your chin. Pull, lift your chest, flatten your back. Again, tuck and curl. Pull and lift. Shift the grip, flex your foot, bring your heel high and your toes back. And again, tuck, shrug, roll away like we've done with the cat and cow. Inhale, chest up, shoulder blades down, head up. Switch, round, flat. Open your leg to the left. Tuck and shrug away from the leg. Chin to chest. Pull and roll forward. Notice as you roll forward, lift your chest, lift your pelvis. Tuck and curl, how that intensifies the stretching in the leg. This shrugging and rounding is how we get away from stretching. So lift your chest, rock your pelvis forward, keep it high, and switch hands. Always okay if this leg is bent, no problem. Pull the leg across your midline so you feel some stretching to this generalized meat, left leg out. Tuck and curl, back and away, lower your chin. Roll your chest up, rock your pelvis forward, pull your foot more to the right. Tuck and curl. Up and forward. Lower the leg down in front, arms high. Tuck and roll. This is where you have to pass the test. Do you have the strength and control to touch your head on your knee? If you do, it doesn't matter. You can grab your foot. If you don't, hold your position and work to curl in, in. If you're holding onto the foot, release here. Lift your chest, straighten your spine, and then with your strength, reach just a little more forward. You got it. Come on up. We'll take hands right behind your head for the double leg. Pull your elbows back wide. Come forward and hold here. Elbows back. Without moving, press your head back into your hands. Engage your back. Engage your butt. Engage your hamstring. Now, elbows back. Hover your hands. Pull your chest forward. Settle your hands. Again, elbows back. Hover your hands. Pull forward. Rest your hands and hold. Flex your feet. Thighs tight. Slowly come up. We're just going to do one more thing for your hips before we lie down. Open your legs wide to a bear sit position. We're going to start back in this position, so feel free to lean back. Flex your ankles, toes high, and just rotate right toes in, knee in, and then out, left knee in, and out. Can you bring it all the way without moving your torso to the ground and back? And just notice what you feel. Notice the differences. Notice what's hard. One more time on each side. And left side. If this is really, really hard for you, you're going to stay here for the next part. If that felt like it was kind of sort of okay, sit up tall, reach your arms out to the side. We're just going to take right leg in and out, in and out, in and hold. And if this hurts you, come up a little bit higher and work here. But if you can bring it more down more, go ahead. Take it out, left, in and out, in and out. And I want to remind you, in and hold, that internally rotating the hip is required for like everything in human movement. And it's required for keeping a nice open hip capsule. So if this is hard for you, this is a good sign. Hip internal rotation is something you've got to work on. From here, roll right to your back. We'll keep the knees high, just like this, arms wide. Drop both knees to the left and reach your right knee towards the front mirror. And see if in this position you can relax your both sets of hip muscles, front and back, right and left. Shift back to the center and rotate off to the right. And if when you shift hips like this, something gets like grippy and panicky, as like you just saw, a mugger in a dark alley, pay attention, what's happening? Is something hurting that you've been ignoring? Or are you afraid that you're going to slip like you did back in '87? Relax the front of that right leg hip. Bring your knees back to the center and place the soles of your feet together. Arms down by your sides. So you can simply drop your knees open. But if you're somebody who has tenderness in the hips or the SI joint, or you've got some stenosis in your lower back, take your two hands like little fists and tuck them right under the greater trochanter, that bump that sticks out of your femur, and drop your legs so they rest on your hands, like your hand was that little thing that you prop a boat up on in the winter. Just going to take a few moments here. The muscles down in the bottom of your pelvis, your inner thighs, and your hips there are responsible for keeping you stable when you're busy all day long. So it's not easy for most of us to let them relax. And let's do some really intentional pelvic floor breathing here. As you inhale, your pelvic floor will naturally relax. And as you exhale, it naturally contracts, gently and subtly. So feel that belly fills and presses your abdominal organs down. Relax, release the pelvic floor. Then as you exhale, feel the belly fall and just gently help your pelvic floor. Lift it up, squeeze it together. Inhale, relax it. Exhale, let the breath go, and at the very tail end, give your pelvic floor a little lift like an elevator. Building that concentric contraction ability for you so that you're aware of the big difference between inhalation and exhalation. And if you struggle with ED or urinary incontinence, this is important. It usually has to do with us not knowing how to relax. So really practice that on your inhale. Soften everything from pubic bone to tail, from thigh to thigh, from hip to hip. If your eyes have naturally fluttered closed, leave them closed. Very gently lift your knees up, bring them together. Slide your legs out and slip right back into. Notice how amazing your body feels by now. Tingling with energy, soft and strong, relaxed and energized. Because you showed up for yourself today. Take as much time as you need. Have a wonderful day.